What if the biggest opportunities of 2026 are already being positioned for, quietly, strategically, and far away from the headlines? While most investors are focused on daily market swings, inflation data, and interest rate rumors, billionaire investors are playing a completely different game. They're not reacting to the market. They're anticipating where it's going next. And what they're seeing right now could completely reshape how wealth is built over the next few years. The truth is, billionaire investors don't rely on hype or headlines. They rely on data, long-term cycles, and positioning ahead of major shifts. And in 2026, one of the biggest things they understand is that we are not in the same market environment that defined the past decade. The era of easy money, ultra-low interest rates, and relentless tech stock growth has fundamentally changed. What worked from 2010 to 2021 won't necessarily work now, and they know it. One of the key insights billionaires are acting on is the transition from a liquidity-driven market to a fundamentals-driven one. In simple terms, money is no longer cheap. Central banks have tightened financial conditions. When liquidity dries up, weaker companies struggle. Speculative assets lose momentum, and only strong, cash-generating businesses survive. Billionaire investors are positioning themselves around this reality by focusing on quality over hype. Another major shift happening right now is in global capital flows. While retail investors often stay focused on domestic markets, billionaires are constantly moving capital across borders. In 2026, they are paying close attention to emerging markets, energy-producing regions, and countries benefiting from supply chain realignments. The world is becoming less globalized and more regionally strategic. At the same time, there's a quiet but powerful rotation happening between sectors. For years, technology dominated the market, attracting the majority of investor attention and capital. But now, billionaires are diversifying into industries that were previously overlooked. Sectors like energy, industrials, infrastructure, and commodities. They're not chasing what was popular. They're preparing for what's next. Another thing billionaire investors understand about 2026 is the importance of patience. In a world driven by instant gratification and daily trading apps, patience has become a rare asset. Risk management is another area where billionaire investors think differently. Instead of going all in on a single trend, they diversify intelligently, hedge their positions, and maintain liquidity. One of the most overlooked strategies billionaires are using right now is accumulation during uncertainty. When markets are unclear or sentiment is negative, most people hesitate or panic. But billionaire investors often do the opposite. There's also a growing focus on real assets. Tangible assets like real estate, infrastructure, and natural resources become more attractive, offering stability and consistent cash flow in uncertain times. Perhaps the most important thing billionaire investors know about 2026 is that information alone isn't enough. It's not about knowing more, it's about acting differently. The question is, will you follow the crowd, or will you start thinking like the people who are already preparing for what comes next?